Hello, this is Tracy Sizemore, writer and publisher of the Han Cluster Sci-Fi RPG, here to answer your deep dive questions. So one question I've gotten from people is, do you have any tips on running the Han Cluster Jumpstart? Well, first, the Han Cluster Jumpstart is a free adventure on DriveThruRPG and the hancluster.com website. It really is a full intro to the setting. I really tried to make sure that it covered all that you needed in terms of how to play, the rules that are involved, the vibe that the Han Cluster is, and most importantly, I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be an epic adventure that you enjoyed, not just a sort of throwaway intro to the setting. So as a result of all that, it is a bit of a monster, especially if you're trying to run it as a one-shot at a con event. But first let me say this. If you're running it at all, if you consider running it at all, thank you, because that is so cool. I made it for people to run, for people to play. I made it for people to have fun. And if you're running it, man, I'm so grateful to you. Second thing, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's a very thorough intro to the Han Cluster setting. If you like it, there's plenty more where that came from if you buy the full setting. The Jumpstart really only scratches the surface of what the Han Cluster setting is. And finally, if you need any help beyond the tips that I provide here, you can always join the Han Cluster Discord server, which is in the description below, and you can ask me direct questions. So first, let me start with general tips on running the Jumpstart. The first thing I would say is take your time. Because this Jumpstart, although it can be run in a one-shot at a con event, and I have done it many times, a lot of other people have done it too, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. It is really best experienced if you take your time with it and run it over 2 or 3 sessions. The reason for that is it allows the players to kind of get acclimated to what the Han Cluster setting is, the rules that are involved, and the special abilities that they have. Another tip that I'll give you is get the Han Cluster digital extras. They are available on DriveThruRPG as a pay-what-you-want item, so they are also free. But they also include VTT tokens, they include figure flats for the Han Cluster specifically, and they also include a really cool little map. It's like a location map, so you can keep track of where ghosted people are versus where their physical bodies are. That's super useful, not only in a VTT, but also at the table. So if you print it out, you can actually have the ghosted figure in one place and then their sleeper in another place, and you can kind of keep track of where people are moving around. Super helpful, and it helps players keep track and understand what's going on. Third tip, let the players discover the setting as they play. I would avoid trying to get into a long, detailed explanation of what the setting is and all the little detailed things about X bonding and all the rules and stuff. Instead, just start playing. Give them a short explanation of the setting and maybe a little bit of an intro into what X bonding is, but really that's it. Otherwise, just let them play. The Jumpstart is designed to help the GM along the way introduce players to the specific of X bonding, X bonded communication as you go. So let them discover it. Let them figure it out. By the time they do figure it out, it'll be the end of the adventure, and they'll start to realize just how cool X bonding is and what the possibilities are. I've seen it many times at the table, where that first fight, they are still trying to figure it out and still trying to understand and ask questions, and that's great. But by the second fight, they start to really get it, and you can see that light bulb turn on in their heads and go, oh my gosh, this means we can do this. This means I can be here and you can be here and you can X travel to me, and then all of a sudden we have options that we didn't realize we had. And you see that sort of a glint of amazement in their eyes, and it's really cool to watch when they figure it out, usually near the end of the adventure. Now, what if you want to run the Han Cluster Jumpstart as a one-shot? Absolutely you can. I do it all the time. The challenge of it is that it can be long and you can lose track of time. So I have some pro tips. The first tip I have for the one-shot version of the Jumpstart, besides the ones I've already given you, which I'd say keep doing those, is skip the Onyx broadcast signal stuff. So when you're on Onyx with Wendy, who's X-bonded to one of the heroes, there is a broadcast signal that's happening and it's confusing people, and you can go pursue that to the broadcast center and have a whole fight there if you want to. I would just skip that entirely for the one shot. So that's the first tip. Second tip, keep the team on a timer. Give them a sense that things are happening and that something is coming and that they only have limited time to deal with these problems as they come up. So once you do that, they'll get a sense of, oh my gosh, we're going to have to figure this out. There's something going on. The shoe has not dropped yet, but it will. If you do keep pressure on them that way, they will move forward faster. And they will start to sense that, oh my gosh, there's something coming and we need to be ready. In tandem with that, I would recommend that at about an hour before the session ends, you have the Thora on Edenic attacked. You get to the last scene. So it doesn't matter if the heroes are on Onyx or dealing with the crew members of the Purity at that point, they might still be fighting. It doesn't matter. Have the Thora attacked and make them deal with it. It just adds that whole tension, that whole pressure to deal with this problem, because once the Thora is attacked, they know exactly what's going on. Don't forget to give them conviction, by the way. And finally, as a one-shot and a con, people tend to expect to win. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And in this adventure, it's possible that they might not win. So if they fail the dramatic task to redirect the Thora away from Arcadium, what I would recommend, especially in a one-shot, is let one of the heroes sacrifice themselves to win anyway. That way, everybody gets the win, you get a great story out of it, somebody sacrifices themselves to save tens of thousands of people, and the heroes are truly heroes. So, that's all the tips I have for running the Jumpstart. If you're running it, thank you. And please come back to this channel and see what's up next time.